Hi, so I'll be presenting my self-cultural report video and it's for my intercultural communication class. So to start off, hi, my name is Xin Xuan and I'm a Malaysian Han Chinese. So how did I get my name? Well, my parents told me that they chose my name from a fortune teller. Well, the fortune teller would give a few names to choose from, and they chose my name, Xin Xuan, out of all those names, where my surname Sim comes from my family. So in Chinese culture, we believe that name is a very important thing as it accompanies us throughout our whole lives. Creating a good name is very important as a good name will bring us good luck. Well, I was told that my name, Xing Shen, means joy and beauty. So I'm thinking that's what my parents hope that I can have. We Chinese believe that simply creating a name or that the name contains a word that has a bad meaning will bring a very bad luck to the person and that the person's life wouldn't be as fluent as it seems. Through this project, I have learned a lot about my culture and discovered things that I have never discovered before, which really surprises me and I got really interested in it. Being Han Chinese means that I come from one of the world's oldest continuous civilizations, which actually puts a high value on family, social harmony, and respect for elderly. My grandmother told me that Malaysian Chinese actually come from China and they migrated from China to Malaysia mostly in the 19th centuries. Most of the people are from Fujian and Guangdong province, including my grandmother. My grandmother also migrated from China to Malaysia in the 19th centuries. And here I am now, a Han Chinese girl that's born and raised in Malaysia. Moving on, as a girl in a traditional Chinese family, my identity and my roles have been influenced by growing up as a female. In Chinese culture, different gender has their own rules. These rules frequently influence how men and women are viewed and who they should be. When I was little, I was the only female child in the family. Growing up with my brother and my male cousin, I tend to engage in activities that were more boyish, such as watching the cartoon Ultraman and playing Nerf guns. They were very fun. But because of this, I often hear my aunts and grandparents telling me that I shouldn't be playing all this. I should do what girls usually do and that I should be playing Barbie dolls instead. This shows how traditional gender expectations in Chinese culture are taught from birth, shaping our activities and self-perception from an early age. Not only that, since I was a kid, I was also taught and expected to be gentle, respectful, and avoid being overly forceful when interacting with elderly. Over time, I realized I have internalized this expectation in myself, and they do affect the way I speak and act in certain situations. For example, I tend to be more quiet and gentle around people I don't know well, speaking only when necessary. Furthermore, in traditional Chinese culture, women are expected to stay home and take responsibility in managing household chores, while men should play the role of being primary breadwinners. Although this perception has changed over time, there are still families who still hold onto this belief in the current generation. However, as I am raised in a middle-class family, I am lucky to be provided with opportunities for education and be able to express my own opinion that sometimes go against the belief of traditional gender roles. From what I studied in the past, women in the traditional Chinese culture centuries ago have extremely low status. They are also prohibited from receiving education and were expected to be obedient to men. Gratefully, I am born in a generation that embraces gender equality. My family has always taught me the importance of education, and they always give me full support to follow my dreams regardless of the expectations society has on women. This has helped me to be more confident in sharing my opinions, particularly in professional or academic environments. My cultural story is a unique combination of tradition and adaptation. As I grew up in Malaysia, I experienced a mix of cultures including Chinese, Malay, and Indians, which affected how I see the world. Being a part of a family that follows a traditional Chinese customs has instilled me in the culture of my own heritage. For example, we celebrate Lunar New Year with our relatives through gatherings and open houses that emphasizes community, joy, and family bonding. Another tradition we also practice is honoring our ancestors. By doing so, we show our full respect to them, and also it reminds us of who we are and where we came from. These traditions are a significant aspect of my cultural identity as they teach me the value of family and respect for those who have come before us. At the same time, as a Malaysian Chinese, I have also adapted to living in a mixed society. This has helped me to improve my flexibility in communicating with different people, as I have to meet different customs, languages, and perspectives every day. I had gained a deeper understanding and respect for different cultures. For example, when speaking with friends that are Malay, I am aware of the politeness and indirectness valued in their culture. Whereas with my Chinese friends, I would talk more straightforwardly to them. This adaptability is a key part of my cultural identity. On top of that, my cultural identity does influence how I communicate with friends, family, and strangers. To relate my cultural experience to one theory I learned, I will use the communication accommodation theory. This theory explains how people adjust their communication to fit in with others in social interactions. In this theory, there are two basic strategies: convergence and divergence. Convergence means that a person adjusts themselves to be more like the other person, while divergence means that one emphasizes differences to keep distinctiveness. For instance, when speaking with my family, I often use formal and respectful words, as well as talking to strangers. Not only that, as silence is also an important role in interactions in Chinese culture, I would also keep silence when elderly or authority individuals are speaking. Silence can show respect, especially when talking to elders. It demonstrates that you are in all ears and considering their words carefully. This contrasts with Western culture where awkwardness and disengagement might be conveyed when keeping silent. On the other hand, my communication style is more comfortable and direct while speaking to friends, though I would still avoid using rude language, of course. The topics I would often discuss with my friends are usually around my family, education, and shared experiences, which reflects on the values I grew up with. However, I would use divergent strategy while speaking with friends that are not part of my cultural group, especially in cross-cultural contexts. For example, I will highlight certain aspects of my Chinese heritage, such as speaking in Mandarin or using specific cultural references. By doing so, I can maintain the uniqueness of my cultural background even though I am adapting to a communication standard in Malaysia's multicultural society. In this case, divergence helps me to keep my cultural identity in a variety of social spaces. To wrap up, my cultural identity as a Malaysian Han Chinese girl plays an important role in influencing my communication style. My communication style is shaped by the values of working as a team and respecting others, so I usually try to keep things low and show respect, especially with my family or in serious situations. Growing up in a multicultural environment has also taught me to adjust my communication to other cultural contexts while still maintaining my own traditions. This reflection on my own cultural story has allowed me to gain a deeper understanding of how my background shapes who I am and how I interact with the world, allowing me to mix traditions and flexibility in my daily interactions. And that's all from me. Thank you, sir, for your time.